think it's worth being a bit more specific about why it is that this is so hard. I mean, is it because, if a building in this neighborhood has Verizon and Time Warner and that's it, and nobody else is interested? What specifically are some of the constraints? I mean, Andrew, do you want to?
Clearly there's not enough competition, and the reason why is because not only have the telcos and the cable companies throughout the country sort of split up the marketplace, but they have such power, not only politically, but in the marketplace, that there are no investors that would be willing to invest in another company to actually challenge them. In fact, here in New York, Verizon is working on a pilot program where they have gotten the city to agree to let them, in order to get to their goal of wiring every house and resident to fiber by 2014, which they're not going to make, dig a 6-inch trench along the curb, because the cost of obviously digging in the city through the manholes and other infrastructure is really hard. So the city agreed to try a pilot, and the city, the people in the city, without naming names, who are really responsible for that pilot, were very happy because they went to Verizon and said, if you're going to open up that trench, you have to let other providers use that trench while it's open to put their own conduit there. And Verizon said, sure, no problem. And the city was like, wow, you see, we've made it possible for there to be more competition. And Verizon said, yes, no problem, because Verizon knew that nobody would show up. And nobody in city government knew enough about the issue to be able to actually call them out on that. So again, we have a problem in the marketplace because we don't have enough competition. And we have a lack of vision in terms of understanding why it matters to a building owner that he should know about this issue. Cost is a fact, cost is an issue, economics are an issue, and maybe there will be a point where there will be enough demand from people starting businesses where they say, I can't move into your building unless I have massive fiber connections to my servers or to my staff, but that hasn't happened yet.
Right. Yeah, I think in today's world where occupancy rates are high in a lot of places, especially in Manhattan, they're not quite feeling it in their wallets yet, and I think engaging the tenant communities to raise their hand and say, hey, this is really important to us, it is going to drive our location search decisions, will start to open up the minds of the landlords, and they might be willing to front the cost. People quote 40 to 60K to potentially pull a fiber cable from the street into a building and not just wire one tenant space, but wire the entire building for anyone to plug into. Now that takes proactive thinking. That takes not just maybe one tenant has the demand, but the landlord has to realize down the road, maybe every tenant in my building is going to want fiber access, so I should just do this now and front the cost. And oftentimes we're not there yet in thinking that way.